When I first got onto the WashU campus, let me just say I was speechless. I live about 15 minutes away in the Loop, so I was walking through the sun and the heat and I was sweating and my backpack was weighing down on me, but then I stepped onto campus and I took a deep breath and I looked at the clouds in the sky dappled with light and I thought, that is a castle in front of me. That is a castle? I have died and been reborn as a princess. And I am so excited to spend the next 3 years of my life here. I feel so privileged to be here, walking through Tisch Park, walking through these halls. The Gothic architecture was really reminding me of Fordham University, which is where I went to undergrad. Woo woo, Fordham mentioned in the chat. And when I finally found Anheuser-Busch Hall, which is the law building on campus, I was even more floored. Because look at this dark academia library. I'm obsessed. And when I entered Crowder Courtyard, I was able to look at the faces with which I am to be with in my section. Every morning, we were greeted with a breakfast of grapes, scones, muffins, and coffee, which we enjoyed as we chatted with one another. And on the first day of orientation, on the Monday, we had the Convocation ceremony. Now, the Convocation ceremony entails walking from AB Hall to Graham Chapel, and you guys, when I entered this chapel, I was floored, okay? There was a huge stained glass window, a massive organ, and a great keynote speaker. We got to hear about how an alumni used her JD to be an entrepreneur and start her own cupcake business, and we also got to hear from Dean Lindquist, who is the dean of the law school. Every morning, we checked in with a name tag and we attended various talks. Everything from civil discourse to civil procedure to bias in the legal field, which were all very important topics. And I was traveling to the bookstore frequently because, I hadn't gotten my textbooks yet. I know, procrastination, right? So I was going between the bookstore and the online bookstore and kind of generally freaking out because law textbooks are really expensive, you guys. I mean, that was to be expected, but even I was a bit shocked. Overall, I think I was just really impressed with how nice everyone was and how wonderful the staff members were that I spoke to. Everywhere from admissions to the Office of Student Life, everyone was trying to make sure that we were having a good time, that we knew where to go, and that we had the correct schedule, so everything was super organized. I certainly don't want to sugarcoat orientation too much because it was also a lot of work. During the busy orientation schedule, we also had an Intro to Negotiation and Conflict Resolution course where we negotiated with our peers, and we had memos due for that every night, so a lot of us weren't getting a lot of sleep, and I just wanted to say that. While I was on campus, I really couldn't help but admire the architecture. There was also an adorable photo booth where people could take photos for LinkedIn, and the Women's Law Caucus and PSAB, the Public Service Advisory Board, were present on some of the orientation days. We had some decent catering. Sometimes there were issues, but mostly it was good. And we also had a day of service where we made plarn, plastic yarn, for the unhoused community. Last but not least, we had frozen custard, a great way to end orientation and to enjoy a St. Louis staple. Hey y'all, so orientation is officially over, and as the WashU emails say, it is Friday, so I just filled out the post-orientation survey. But overall, I thought it was a really packed week, because not only did we have talks about bias, we had... what else? We had talks on civil discourse, we had talks on civil procedure, on how to brief a case, and all the basic necessary skills we're going to need going into next week. But we also had a 1-credit Intro to Negotiation and Conflict Resolution course embedded within the orientation itself. So obviously this was a lot of classroom time, a lot of good learning, and then along the way we had some boxed lunches and got to meet our sections, which was really gratifying. I was especially fond of the frozen custard that they had today, to make up for some sort of catering issues that had been happening throughout the week. So I really enjoyed having a bit of a Midwest/Southern staple because I can't say that I've had much frozen custard in the past. And so yeah, it's been a really great experience and I'm excited to get ahead of the readings. I got some big old textbooks to start taking a look at before next week, Monday, when I have property, torts, and contracts, some doctrinal classes to take. So yeah, I'll update you more along the way, but thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.